Good morning and welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance for this fine Tuesday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist, here with a wonderful card today, and it dovetails beautifully with something I wanted to share with you anyway. So yesterday I got a package in the mail from Cindy, who is on here every day, and I got this beautiful little necklace that says breathe and a refrigerator magnet that says believe. Both messages that I repeatedly trot out pretty much every day. Every day you're going to hear me talking about belief and what you're doing with your breathing. So thank you, Cindy, for these. I appreciate them. They're wonderful. And add them to my Believe collection on my desk here. So that's pretty awesome. And there she is. Good morning, good morning. I was just sharing with them the beautiful gifts you sent me. So much appreciated. And they dovetail again beautifully with today's card, which comes from the Wild Kuan Yin deck by Alana Fairchild. And this card in particular speaks to me, given the things that I was working on the retreat I was on, and where my life is at right now. So I'm guessing it's also going to resonate for some of the rest of you. So we'll jump right in here. And I'm editing the reading a little bit just because, again, these readings are pretty long, but Spirit just kind of guided me which parts to address with you. So this one is Sacred Falcon Shows the Way. So I'll move it close, and you can see Kuan Yin kind of flying through the air there after the falcon, and the yak accompanying her. The yak is often present when Kuan Yin is there. So that's our card for today. So let's just do a little breathing and settle ourselves into right here, right now. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting your shoulders drop in through the nose, out through the mouth. Wiggling just a little bit, getting the kinks out. Man, I can feel it in the side of my neck. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, and just settle in, asking Spirit to guide you to the words in this reading that fit for where you're at right now. The words that are going to be of most support for you. Okay? So here we go. Now, it's card number 17 in case you have the deck. Sacred Falcon Shows the Way. My wisdom is embodied in nature. I speak to you through the language of the natural world. Therefore, and we've been talking about this, right? How important it is to spend some time in nature. If that's how the Divine Mother is going to speak to us, we certainly want to avail ourselves of that, right? It was nice and crisp cold out there this morning, and there's a fat crescent moon right at the moment, so that was really pretty to observe. And crunching on the snow, not much snow left here, but we're supposed to get rain today, which will probably wipe out the rest of the snow, and then I think Thursday we're supposed to get snow again. So nature, nature, nature. Welcome to whomever else has popped on. Glad you are here. Lisa's here also. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So we have Sacred Falcon Shows the Way from the Wild Kuan Yin deck. And we just read the first couple of sentences, so I'll read them again real quick because I think they set the tone. My wisdom is embodied in nature. I speak to you through the language of the natural world. You will understand my guidance for you as you trust in your observations of nature. Look for my signs. My language is symbolic, humorous, clear, and loving. Good morning, Joe. Glad you're here. I talk to you every day, my divine wild child. Within you are the wild instincts and loving intuitions that can recognize my signs, the presence of my guiding hand. I am speaking to you. Believe. There's our believe word. The Divine Mother has many ways of communicating. We can be most receptive to her helpful guidance when we are open. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. Without expectation as to how she shall communicate or what she shall tell us. We must be willing to trust our hearts when we feel moved, even if our logical mind has doubts. Hear that? Again, that's that idea that Our mind is meant to be the faithful servant of our heart and soul. The heart and soul lead the show, okay? That's what we're aiming for. Your heart just knows when you have received a sign from the Divine Mother. It could be the most ordinary occurrence, a simple remark made by another, a song on the radio, the sudden appearance of an animal. That kind of goes back to my next three things thing. Happy Valentine's Day to you also. Glad to have you all here for Valentine's Day. So my next three things thing is when you have a question that's rolling around in your head and you can't figure it out and you don't know what decision to make, pose it to the universe. Okay, give me some guidance. And then go forth and pay attention to the next three things that grab your attention. Could be a song on the radio, could be a billboard, could be a bumper sticker, could be something someone says, could be a tremendous thought that pops into your head and won't leave. But pay attention to those next three things. Those are signs. Those are wisdom. It's kind of a cheesy little thing that I teach people how to do, and it works really well. Okay? Underneath the apparent ordinariness, there is a sense of the numinous, a magic that catches your breath before your mind steps in to discount it as fanciful. Yep. So there's, again, where your mind can do you a disservice when it tries to logic everything and it misses out on the magic and the intuition. You sense and feel something profound beneath the appearance of the everyday. Or perhaps your sign is more dramatic, an accident that seems like a warning or a synchronicity too vivid or compelling to ignore. And we've gotten, haven't we, very good. Singles Awareness Day. Yes, absolutely. That's where I'm at. But it can be a day that we can show loving attention to ourselves and to others. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and the florist department of the grocery store was overwhelmed with boxes of flowers to be unpacked. It was, yes, we've got all of these ways to look at this particular holiday. But again, paying attention to what are the signs and signals that come our way in a day. Just be observant. Just be observant. What shows a sign to be a communication from the divine rather than another mundane happening is the feeling that accompanies it. When the oracle of Sacred Falcon shows the way comes to you, you are being told to trust the signs. Trust what your heart tells you, what you feel, over and above any apparent logic. Trust where you are being led and what you feel the divine is communicating to you through the happenings in the natural world. Trust even in the signs you sense through the modern world created by humanity, such as a song on the radio or a book that seems to demand that you purchase it, for there is divine guidance in all things if we know how to feel and look for it. So that book thing, I want to plug a book here. That book I'm reading, Good Morning Diane, glad you are here, happy Valentine's Day, How to Stand Up to a Dictator by Maria Ressa, R-E-S-S-A, an amazing read. And it gives you a much clearer lens for looking at world events, especially social media. She really takes on Facebook and how Facebook has allowed us to be manipulated with disinformation. So definitely a book worth reading. You don't have to understand the bigger picture here. Thank God, right? Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know where I'm being led. I'm being led, but I don't really know where I'm going. The messages you receive do not have to conform to logic. Ding, ding, ding. They don't even have to translate into words. You may simply have a feeling of connection and reassurance, a sense that cannot be justified or explained, that somehow whatever has been bothering you is being taken care of by a greater power. It's kind of that you know like you know like you know feeling. Good morning, Peggy. And you want to honor that. You want to listen to that. If you look back over your life, those times when you honored what you knew that you knew that you knew, all went well, didn't it? When you chose not to honor it, you ended up with a mess. Okay? Whether or not you have a clear and conscious interpretation of what you recognize as your sign, you are being given valuable guidance nonetheless. At a deeper level, it has an impact and will inform your choices. So, good morning, Susan. On the one hand, you can do okay, I'm not quite getting this sign but I'm just going to roll with it. That's one approach. Another approach is then saying to the divine, okay, divine, you know that sometimes I'm kind of obtuse and lunk-headed here. Can you give me a little more guidance as to what this sign means? I'm going to suggest to you that you might want to take the prior tack, because sometimes when the universe turns up the volume, it isn't always pleasant. So you could always ask for it in a kinder, gentler way, too. That would work. Let's see here. Where are we? Here we are. This Oracle of Sacred Falcon shows the way. I'm going to show the card again because a bunch of new people jumped on here. Good morning, Renee. Glad you are here. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. So here is Kuan Yin with the falcon and the yak. She likes traveling with her yak. The Oracle of Sacred Falcon shows the way also comes with a special message. Even in the most unlikely of circumstances, a way can be found. So hear that again. Even in the most unlikely of circumstances, when you can't figure out for nothing how this is going to happen, a way will present itself. Bide your time. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. It will not necessarily be a consciously understood way. You can allow the instincts of your own nature, your subconscious mind, to help you to find what you seek. Instinct is not intellectual deduction justified by logic. Instinct is more like intuition in that it comes from deep within the body. Where intuition comes from the heart, instinct arises from the body's knowing and expresses itself through your bones. A gut feeling from deep in the belly, or a sense of smell that alerts you to something or someone not being quite right. Trust that, okay? Instinct is your body's version of intuition, and it is natural and helpful. The process of socialization and education typically tries to impose reason and logic, intellectual and rational explanation upon your instinctual self, as though the intellect were somehow superior. Intellect is a form of useful intelligence, but to allow it to dominate instinct is not intelligent at all. That's a pretty clear message, isn't it? Trust your gut. Restoring the honored connection between instinct and intuition, between the deep knowing of our body and the loving wisdom of our heart, is an integral part of our rewilding journey to become a fully alive, divine human being, rather than one with a broken will and a disconnected mind, body, soul. We can certainly see, especially in Americans, how our bodies fall apart when we are not attending to what they need, what they truly need. When we're giving them processed foods, things that come in square boxes. Nature does not make square food, people, okay? When we're not attending to the sleep that we need, to the routine that is healthy for us, to time in nature. Those who live closer to the land, farmers, etc., have a much better sense of the ebb and flow. When we're eating, one way to eat is to eat with what's available naturally right now, not necessarily what we've trucked in from way far away, okay? So little bitty things here that we can do to change this. We need to repair the bond with our bodily instincts. This means that we do not judge them, do not shame ourselves for them, do not blindly act them out. We need the wise intuition of the heart to know what to do with our instinctual responses, but nor do we try to repress them. We learn to listen, to care, to value, to respect. When our body feels something, especially something uncomfortable or pleasurable, we are curious, open, inquisitive, and non-judging, and our intuitive heart responds to the information the body provides. So I want to go back to that pleasure part too. Good morning, Cheryl. When we consume something, whatever it is, are we attentive to it? Are we present with whatever we're consuming? Or let's say it's a great cup of coffee. Do we take the first sip and then Next thing we know, the cup is gone, but we haven't really savored it. We haven't really enjoyed it. Today, that's one of the things I would like you to do. Good morning, Kelly. Glad you are here. I would like you to really pay attention to everything that you're consuming. Just be present for it. If you're gonna, like, I'm going to have fried ice cream after lunch today. I'm taking my daughter to lunch in Green Bay. And the place we're going has an amazing fried ice cream, so she and I will probably split one. And being fully present for that, savoring every bite, that really feeds your heart and soul and your body much more fully than when we mouth through something and we haven't paid any attention to what it was. Okay? So that's something I'd like you to practice today. Being fully present, mindfully eating. All right? When we choose to live with wildness, which means openness to all of us, to all of who we are, rather than the parts that seem proper, appropriate, socially acceptable, controlled, and tamed, then we need our instincts, just like the hunter needs the falcon. We must learn to trust at that deeper level, restoring dignity to our basic responses to life and learning to use our messages with wisdom. So here's our healing process. I want you to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And we're going to say this prayer aloud. So I'll say it first and then you can repeat. And it says to say it 3 times. We're just going to do it once here. But when I post it, I will post the prayer again in the feed so that you can redo this again if you'd like to. Kuan Yin, Wild Divine Mother, I call upon your grace and blessing. Sacred Falcon, sacred animal body with instincts so wild and loving heart with wise intuition, I call upon you both. Of my own free will, I choose to forgive myself for ever ignoring my intuition or instincts. I forgive myself for any time I did follow instinct or intuition and became frightened of what happened and pulled back, not willing to commit to the course of action, and where I felt betrayed, abandoned, or disappointed. I now choose to trust unconditionally in the safety of following my instincts and intuition. I forgive and release any person, any memory from this or any lifetime where listening to my instincts or intuition has elicited judgment or fear. I no longer choose to carry this memory. Instead, I now choose to experience the peace of trust in my instinctual body and my intuitive heart. I trust myself. Through my own free will and the grace of Wild Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally, it is so. So I'm going to go back again because I just read it right through, and I'm going to do it so that we'll do call and response, okay? So, Kuan Yin, Wild Divine Mother, I call upon your grace and blessing. Sacred Falcon, sacred animal body with instincts so wild, and loving heart with wise intuition, I call upon you both. Of my own free will, I choose to forgive myself, forever ignoring my intuition or instincts. I forgive myself for any time I did follow instinct or intuition and became frightened of what happened and pulled back, not willing to commit to a course of action, and where I felt betrayed, abandoned, or disappointed. I now choose to trust unconditionally in the safety of following my instincts and intuition. I forgive and release any person, any memory from this or any lifetime where listening to my instincts or intuition has elicited judgment or fear. I no longer choose to carry this memory. Instead, I now choose to experience the peace of trust in my instinctual body and my intuitive heart. I trust myself. Through my own free will and the grace of Wild Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally, it is so. Now, with one hand still on your heart and one on your belly, rest for as long as feels good, perhaps with your eyes closed. So I'll just give you a little moment there to do that. And when you feel it is time, simply open your eyes. You have completed your healing process. I love this card. I love this card because it's all about making us whole again. Instead of severing off our intuition or our instincts, it's claiming all of it. So we have our intellect, fabulous, but we have our intuition, which is our heart and soul, and we have our instincts, which is our body, and bringing them all online and honoring all of them and valuing all of them allows us to be much more whole. Okay? So, tasks for today. I love this card too. This is an awesome card for Valentine's Day. Tasks for today. Things, challenges, opportunities, gifts that you can engage in. Again, paying attention, being fully present for the things that you are consuming. That might be food, whatever it is. You might get flowers from somebody. You might buy yourself flowers. How awesome would that be? And engaging in smell stuff. Perhaps you get a box of chocolates. Smell those. That's awesome. Take time to really bring all of your senses online with something. And notice that we have those 5 senses that we typically pay attention to. Sight being the one we automatically default to. But I want to bring that sense of smell back online. Your nose can pick up when something is off, can't it? So you let's say you've had milk in the refrigerator for a while and you smell it to see, is this still good? We do that with people. There's some people where the smell is just off, and I'm not talking body odor. I'm talking there's just something that your nose is picking up isn't quite right. Maybe they're not being trustworthy. Maybe they're not being honest. Maybe they're not acting in integrity. Whatever it is, you're picking it up. Pay attention to that, all right? Again, when I post this, I will put the healing part in there also. It probably is going to be a little while till I get around to posting it, but we'll kind of go from there. But have an awesome Valentine's Day, y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including giving high attention and value to your intuition and your instinct. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.